What's up, everybody? Welcome to Meowy Hour. I'm your host, Arden Moore. And as you know, this show is brought to you each and every Wednesday live. What is that, Casey? Yes, by the Cat Fancier Association. We also have tonight, not one, but two sponsors. Let's give it up. Please pause and applause for In Clover, the makers of dog and cat supplements, and Meowy Wanna, cool organic catnip. So we're going to be giving away some prizes. We thank both Rebecca Rose, the founder of In Clover, and Geraldine Chata, who's with Meowy Wanna. I better say Meowy.
Close enough.
What? Also, I can't do the show without my talented all-breed CFA judge, my co-host, the remarkable Kathy Black. Yay! And because we're very diverse, our doggy designee, Destiny. Hey, we've got a double header for you tonight. Double A, as in she is both an award-winning artist and an award-winning author. Please join me in welcoming to our show our special guest, Bernadette Kasmarsky. Yay!
Do I clap for myself?
Yeah, you can clap, Mimi. And he says, Mama, you're on TV. Hey, guys, we got a lot to cover tonight, but I'm going to test your vocabulary. All right. Have you guys seen images of those cats with the split faces? Have you seen, not cut open, but different color? Have you seen those, Bernadette?
Yes.
Okay, there's a term for that. They're called chimera.
Yes.
And with the help of my co-host, Kathy Black, this one is the most famous. This is a cat named Narnia. We're going to get back to Narnia in a minute, but look at the gray and black. And we have an all-breed CFA judge here, so she knows a lot about cat breeds. Let's go ahead and show the other two. We have also Quinera and Venus. Check out these two images, if you can grab them, Kathy.
I'm trying.
That's all right.
I guess I can only share one at a time, huh?
That's all right.
Okay, there we go.
So look at that one. Two different color eyes. Wow.
And that is wild that the blue eye is on the black side. That's interesting.
I still see Narnia.
Oh, okay. Maybe yours will come soon. Okay. And let's see the third one.
Okay. Pictures.
Have Destiny help you.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get. I keep clicking on my PowerPoint presentation. Oh, we lost Bernadette.
Oh, Bernadette, she's here, right, Bernadette?
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
There we go. And this one again has a blue eye under the ginger color and a greenish eye under the black.
Yes.
So, all right, we've got an artist in the house and an all-breed cat judge. So I'm going to start first with our guest, Bernadette. When you see these three cats from an artistic standpoint, what are you thinking?
The first thing I think is what media I'd use to draw them or paint them.
Right, like this one is pretty unique, gray and black, right? Can
Well,
go to any fancy affair because it's already dressed up in, you know, full formal wear with the face.
But there we go. There's Narnia. Okay. Yeah, you know what? And it's funny because her eyes are so pale. I see just a little tinge of mahogany in her tail, but that she looks like a black and white photo. And I'm so used to seeing Venus because I know Venus better. I think she's a black and white photo because the gray would, orange would come up as gray. Definitely her, I would do in charcoal.
Charcoal, okay.
On toned paper, there's white charcoal and black charcoal and fine charcoal and hard charcoal, definitely she would be charcoal to catch all the detail and texture.
Nice. Okay, you just taught me that from the artistic standpoint. Yes. Now let's look at it from the genetic standpoint, because before we went on the air, everyone, Kathy was remarking how there are those faces of the ginger and the black and things like that and double eyes that are different. But why is Narnia so unique, Kathy, genetically?
Well, I'm going to first address the red in her tail. Any black cat, if it gets in the sun enough, it gets a little red tint to it. So I think that is truly just her black coat turning red from the sun, not that she has the orange gene. Okay.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, in my opinion, a true chimera cat is when you have two embryos that fuse into one cat. And it's most interesting when you have one embryo that was going to grow up and be a solid colored cat, like a black cat. And then the other embryo had the dilute gene, which was going to grow up and be a gray or a blue cat. So you cannot have a dilute and a non-dilute cat all be in one cat like this one, unless it is a true chimera. Now, you can have a cat that ends up with a whole half red face due to the orange gene. It could be a chimera. They would have to do genetic testing on it. But a true chimera, you know, is like a red, white, and blue. We had a red, white, and blue Maine Coon. You
Wow.
can't be red and blue because blue is dilute. The dilute of red is cream. So you could have a cream blue and white Maine Coon, but you can't have a red, white, and blue Maine Coon. So that cat was truly a chimera. That's why I look at this cat. You can't be solid black and the non-dilute gene and gray, the dilute gene, all of the same cat, unless you are truly a chimera. So that's how I look at it from a genetic standpoint. But I love the idea of doing it in charcoal.
Yes.
And then you can make those eyes just be green. You could use a little color on the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I often do when I do portraits for people that way. I always add the eye color.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is interesting is that that's not a hard cat to describe if they get out of your house.
No.
Hey, I lost my kitty. One side of the face is black, the other side of is gray, and it goes right down the middle. We
Right.
lost your screen, Bernadette. Where are you?
I'm here.
Uh-oh, you need your video on.
It is on.
Oh, okay.
Can you see me now?
Ooh, we are like a Verizon commercial from old times.
Interesting.
That's can you hear me now, not can you see me now.
Oh, sorry. We're gonna have her. We got to get her back on because I hear her, but I don't see her. So there's something maybe blocking your screen, or maybe accidentally, maybe Mimi hit a button.
No,
Maybe-
actually, nobody's been here at the desk with me. So
Maybe you need
Can
to
you
wiggle
see
your
us?
connection for your camera or something.
Yeah,
let me check that.
yeah, that's always a good thing. Wiggle. Well, as we're doing that, I also in this intro want to give pause and applause to the team that landed the deal on Shark Tank. Did you see it last week, everybody?
I did. I watched it Friday.
Leah Eichson, who is the genius behind the dating app for cat lovers called Tabby app, brought Nathan the cat lover and Sterling Trap King Davis, social influencers, and they got a deal with Mr. Wonderful to do the Tabby app and the dog version, which is called Dig. So I want to make sure that we all know that that's a really big score, and we're very proud of them. Now I've lost Bernadette. Is she going to come back in?
Maybe she tried to just log out and try getting back in again.
Okay. As Bernadette loves this technological hiccup that we're dealing with right now, I am going to ask Kathy if you can talk a little bit about what is the CFA Breed Council, and if people are interested in joining, what can they do?
Okay, so CFA is a organization of member clubs. We do not have individual members in CFA. Our membership is made up of the clubs, but as a member, you do have a say in what goes on, and that's especially with the breed councils. They were established in 1970, and they give input into the board of directors about their breed. You have to be at least 18 years of age or older. You have to at least bred 3 litters with the appropriate breed, and you can't be a judge or an officer of another association. So you can just find all that out on our CFA website. Go to cfa.org and just in the search put in breed councils. But there's a whole set of links here about the breed council, joining a breed council, the current membership. You can pay for 2 years. There is a small fee associated with it, but these are the people that direct the direction of your breed standard, the different colors that are accepted, You also have input into the presentations that the judges view for their continuing education. So it's a very important group to be part of. I know a lot of people who are eligible don't join. They don't think it's any benefit, but it's your voice to the CFA Board of Directors. And you, as a breeder of that breed, you need to be on the breed council if you qualify. So anybody that has bred at least 3 litters can apply. You got to be at least 18 years of age. And I just wanted to bring that up about how we're a very unique organization in that aspect, that we don't have individual members, but we have member clubs, and you can have a voice by being on your breed council.
All right. Rusty said, man, I wanted to join, but I'll have to get my teammates on board. Rusty the performer says, we are going to announce the winners of last week's trivia question. What, do you remember that one? Do you like Rusty the performer, Bernadette? What do you think?
Oh, goodness, yes.
He goes,
He's a star.
a nice little bandana made by our friend Jill Thompson of Onyx Cat.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much. So last week, the question I asked all of you was this: what is the name given to a fairy creature from Celtic mythology that resembled a large black cat with a white spot on his chest? This cat would haunt the Scottish Highlands and only was nice to people who left out a bowl of milk in front of their doors. They were never cursed. So the answer is Sith, S-I-T-H. So Kathy, who are our lucky winners?
The winner was Ramona Merrick.
Oh, yay!
Ramona won the In Clover package.
Nice job.
And then we gave away some hats. So Toby Schwartz, I mailed all the hats, by the way, this week.
Thank you, Jill Thompson.
Finally got to the post office. So thank you, Jill. The Toby Schwartz was the winner, and I have to apologize. This is my crazy time of year, so my brain is just fried. I think that I've had a communication from Jen Helgren as to your mailing address, but Jen, I don't know, I've lost it. I have a packet here with your name on it, but no address. So please send me your mailing address, Jen Helgren. Either email me at kathy.black@yahoo.com, send me something through Messenger. I'm not able to send you anything through Messenger since we're not friends. So please, Jen, reach out to me with your address so you can get your lovely gift. But yeah, Toby Schwartz and Ramona Merrick were the winners last week.
All right. So if you know the answer, Bernadette, you got to be mum's the word. Don't say an answer because we don't reveal the answer till next week. So here is this week's question. And I did it sort of in honor of Bernadette because she's very tapped into social media. So there is a feline editor-in-chief at the Purrington Post who has a very unusual name. I'm going to give you 4 choices. And Bernadette, I know you probably know this, so mum's the word, poker face. Okay, what is the name of the feline editor-in-chief at Purrington Post? Is it A, Birdie, B, Doggy, C, Mouse, or D, Squirrel? So your choices again are Birdie, Doggy, Mouse, or Squirrel. Now, we're going to have a couple of winners tonight. Let's go ahead and first show In Clover, if you would, Kathy. The winner of, one of the winners is going to get, we're going to have 3 winners for this one. One of the winners is going to get a 4-pack of In Clover's cat and dog supplements. Oops, I guess we're switching. Okay. And 2 winners, oh, that's all right. 2 winners are going to get from our new sponsor, Meowy. This is it looks like a chunk of cheese with a mouse on it, and you can put organic, fresh catnip in it and watch your cat go cray cray. So we're going to give away 2 of these, and if you wouldn't mind showing now the In Clover one, we're going to give away a 4-pack of In Clover's cat supplements. And just please, everybody, they have been an amazing sponsor for us. Go to inclover.com. If you type in Meowy In Clover 21 at checkout, you're going to save yourself 10%. We do appreciate that. So
And
we
I
want
have to tell you, they sent me a sample of the sprinkles for the dental health,
Yeah.
and the cats eat their food and the dog eats her food like it's not even on there.
Oh, great.
So
great.
that is fantastic. So check
Well,
out
we're
their
very
products.
excited because in December, Rebecca Rose, the founder of Clover, is going to be one of our special guests with Samantha Martin of the Amazing Acrocats and Janice Garza with her cat Summer. And we're going to do a whole theme on holidays, travel and at home, safety, keep your cat sane. So we're very excited. We're going to have her on our show. So thank you to Meowy. Thank you to Clover.
That
All right.
sounds like a Tonight Show lineup with that big a guest. Yeah.
Hey, I'm very honored that our special guest today is an award-winning artist and author. Her name is Bernadette Kasmarsky. So you get a lot of vowels and letters. Vanna White loves your name, Bernadette. And what I love about her is she's a double talent, and she has been doing her own thing for what, over 20 years now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Since
She
2000,
is
yeah.
the founder of The Creative Cat, which I want you all to go check out, thecreativecat.net. And her e-commerce site is called portraitsofanimals.net. I'm so happy you could make it today, Bernadette. Thank you for being a guest on our show.
I'm so excited to be here.
I guess I haven't seen you in a while. Probably a Cat Writers Association conference, maybe a few years back before that COVID happened.
2013 was the last. That was the last one I was at.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's 8 years. So
Okay.
yeah.
So neither one of us have aged.
At all. No.
All right. So let's get into it. You do different types of artwork. So can you kind of launch into the different medias that you do?
Yeah, sure. Well, along with being a cat artist, I'm actually also an illustrator. And
See,
so
that's amazing.
in that capacity, if a customer wants me to do a pen and ink drawing of their wetland and identify the animals and plants that live in there, I do that. And if somebody wants me to do, like a mock-up of a trailhead or something, and these are projects I've actually done, then I do a nice big watercolor, so.
All right, we got what?
Yes.
Pencil. Tell us the different medias. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Pencil, the black and white media, pencil, charcoal, ink, and there are some others that it would be hard, like Connie crayon and graphite, and some other ones they're black and white.
Wow. Okay.
And black colored pencil, but then in color, you have watercolor, pastel, oil paint, acrylic paint, markers and inks, painting ink, drawing ink, and then printing ink and all sorts of other inks.
But is that pretty unusual? Because I've known a lot of artists that seem to only be in one lane.
Well,
I'm pretty impressed that you can do different, illustrate and artwork with different medias, because it's not always that way, right?
And no, I guess it isn't. A lot of people who paint, and they stay with similar other media, like they start with oil painting and they can also do acrylic painting, maybe watercolors like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, like, honestly, well, here's how I came to be an artist.
Okay.
Because I came to it very late. But
She's
because
a psychic too, everybody. She knows my next question.
There you go.
Right.
Because I didn't grow up being an artist. I grew up in the 60s. We were really crafty. My family wasn't so much into me being an artist, but I learned embroidery and crewel work. And
where's home? Where's home for you?
Pittsburgh, Carnegie, this little town outside of Pittsburgh. And it was like I did every craft there was. For my birthday, I got paint by numbers. But not so much me being an artist, which is why when I went to college, I tried being an artist, an art major, and I couldn't draw, which you don't really have to draw to be an artist. But
What?
the problem was I couldn't get the image out of my head and onto the paper.
Okay.
And I just had a feeling that I wasn't going to make it. Why suffer through 4 years of college at something you're not good at? And so I went to the other thing that I had been good at, which was English and writing. And I excelled and I graduated, started on my master's degree as an undergraduate. Great. So I went off to be like, I worked in advertising, all sorts of other things. I worked as a typesetter, got a job as a typesetter before personal computers. This is when it was all in MS-DOS.
She was only 12, everyone. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Because I could type really well, and that's how I got into graphic design. So I moved along with computers as they matured, I matured. And then I moved into personal computers and to desktop design. And I've just moved along with that as it's moved along. But somewhere in there, I had a job working, I was designing junk mail, and I had
designing junk mail?
Exactly. There is an art to that, and I was very good at it. Okay. I was surprised though.
You do not know my address.
No, okay. I don't care anymore. That was years ago.
Kathy will give you hers.
Yeah, thanks.
I had crazy hours. You worked when the work was there, you went home when it wasn't. And so I had no social life because I never knew when I'd be home. And I thought, that I was visualizing my cats in sketches and thinking, I have to stay up until I have to go back to work because it's only 4 hours. I'm going to start sketching. So I did. I got my pencils, which had always been my favorite medium. And I started like copying photographs. And then I got to where I had taken photos of my cats, and I wasn't even painting, thinking this would make a nice painting. And I got one and did a sketch of it, and it turned out the way I visualized.
Yay.
Step one, oh my goodness, I did this. And so then I started working in other media, ink, just I stayed with black and white. I wasn't ready for color. When I was ready for color, then I had colored chalks. I used colored chalks on colored paper. Oh my goodness. And then I decided it's time to get some of these pastel things because, a lot of media, you work in them, you have to work wet. You can't just come back 3 weeks later and get back lit. Pastel waits for you forever if you want it to.
Interesting.
So I started going to a certain art store, then I got a job in this art store because art materials are very expensive. And I got a 75% discount. Plus I learned how to frame my artwork. But when I really went into pastel, then I did this is where I wish I could share on my screen. I did a painting of my little fawn under the bed, waiting for me to walk past and grab my ankle. And yeah. It's this detailed painting, and I did it. I was shocked. It took me months to do it. And it's still one of the favorite paintings that I've ever done of anybody who looks at my artwork. And there's my bedpost, the wrinkle in the
So if they go to where would they see it, on the creativecat.net, or would they see it on Portrait
No, it's on both. It's called Waiting for Mom. You can go to either site, search Waiting for Mom, and you'll find it there. The other one is called Sleeping Beauty. That was the pencil drawing. Okay. And from there, I was like, I hadn't shown anything to anybody up to that point. And I was so happy with this. I showed it. I didn't show it to everybody, but to me, it felt like I showed it to everybody. And people said, well, would you draw my cat? So, of course, that gave me the idea of doing portraits, which was a very big thing. Oh, yeah. Until recently, people made a living of doing pet portraits for, especially around Christmas time. And I thought, well, that could be something I did. So I started moving into, I was still working in pastel. Then after I'd gotten kind of established in that, it was 1992 that I set up my business, Portraits of Animals. That's when I started actually going to cat shows, setting up my artwork, and selling myself as a portrait artist. And I went to dog shows too. I'm fine with all,
Well, let me jump in here. When you're doing a drawing of a cat versus a drawing of a dog, there's different energies that being is possessing. You're an artist. So can you give people an idea of what you're kind of looking for when you're drawing a cat versus a dog that might really capture the essence of that species?
Yeah, what I'm really looking for is, everything I do, here comes Jelly Bean, finally. You can't see anyway. But I'm looking for what the customer wants.
The tail. Either that or you have long earrings.
We got that. Okay. Here's Jelly Bean, one of the house panthers. I have 8. But what I'm looking for, what I do is custom. Like a lot of the portraits I do are memorials.
Okay.
And then if not, I want people to give me.
Wait a minute. So I want to ask you this. You're going to look deep into Casey's face. What are you seeing that you would capture in Casey?
You know what? With tabbies, it's always their individual stripes. Every ginger tabby is a different shade of ginger. Each of their stripes is different. The shapes of their eyes are different. The freckles on their nose, if they have them. There are so many differences among them. And I want to look for what is different about this cat when you're.
Well, you know, he says he's the most handsome cat, right?
Of course, they're all the most handsome.
Okay.
Of course.
Casey didn't hear that.
No. But then what I want to know is what you want to remember about him, because you're investing in a portrait. It's a piece of custom artwork for your wall, and I hope you'll keep it forever and hand it down to whoever, whatever descendants you want to, you know. So I want to know what you want to remember. And sometimes it's not necessarily the cat that's on your lap at the moment. You want to remember something from another era.
Right.
So that's one thing. So, and that goes with either cats or dogs, because I've done people's entire animal family, people's entire family with all their animals, put them together from various eras. They didn't even live together, you know, photos where the cat is this big, you know, with cell phone photos now, and I actually get to meet the subjects. It's really all, you know, once people tell me what they want in the portrait that I'm going to do, then I study those photos. And in a way, I can always connect with them. So,
well, what I hear from you too, I feel an energy of passion, and you know, I love the fact that you weren't the kid in grade school getting yelled at for doodling. You know, you really didn't get into art until you were older, and I love that. And you said that you said Sleeping Beauty. That was your first real.
That was the one that convinced me I could do this.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Because, you know, we hear that expression, Bernadette, starving artist. I is one. So can you give anybody tips on how to monetize a talent like you have?
Well, you know, the people I know who work as artists independently and live off their art, it's the rare person who can actually do that. And, you know, I am single. I live by myself. I probably shouldn't say that, you know, publicly, but.
No, you have 8 cats.
That's exactly, yeah. But as far as humans, they do, actually I have 10 cats, but, and they do inspire me. They are my inspiration, but, you know, feeding them, jelly bean. But no, you know what? Have another source of income, because I never want to strain my artwork to pay the bills for me. I always want to enjoy it. Yeah. And that's why when I decided to work at home, I was established as an artist, both with landscape and local landscapes and art, you know, nature, and with my animals in general and pet portraits, and as an illustrator. But I chose to be a graphic designer, and actually I didn't do big fancy graphic designs. I did grunt work, you know. I did medical forms and, you know, more junk mail, whatever, so that I would be able to finish that work and then go out in the field or spend time with my cats or something. So that paid the bills. And that's really how it works, unless you have another source of income in the house. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, now that I'm a vendor selling handmade goods that I made with my artwork, along with my artwork.
There you go. Yeah. And that brings me to, you have some memorial candles, and I don't want this to be a downer Meowy hour, everybody, but can you show us one of your votives?
Yeah. Well, let me start with how they came to be. Okay. I have a series of votives here that I make. There we go. There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, here's one. Here is another. And I started making these a few years ago. Let me turn this around. This is my artwork on a specific type of vinyl label. And I etch the inside of the glass and then print this on with a particular printer with particular inks, you know.
What do you think of that, Kathy? That's pretty
beautiful. Yeah.
And then, so those are, but then I also have kind of fun ones like this. I also use non-recyclable glass jars. I've been saving them for years. So this is a spaghetti sauce jar, and it doesn't come over too well on my screen. But
well, it is Wednesday, isn't it? Spaghetti night. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. And this is a jelly jar. There we go. It's a little difficult. There we go. That you can see the
So you
art
have the cat's picture on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
beautiful.
I have great fun with these. I paint them and embellish them and all sorts of stuff. And but these, I decided to make a votive when a portrait customer of mine lost the cat that we had done the portrait of.
Okay.
And I loved the portrait. I loved Oscar. You know, they've been rescuing for years. They're a longtime portrait customer of mine. They volunteered at shelters. They're just wonderful people. And so I don't have one of Oscar's votives here, but I took that square votive and I took just his face from the portrait and I made a votive that looked very much like this one here.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, you know, I use an LED candle because I don't have real candles in the house with all these tails and noses around, you know.
I was wondering.
Yeah. and yes, I recommend it with this too. But you know, I gave it to them as a gift, as a bereavement gift.
That's
and
very kind.
So, and they were just so moved by it. And I thought, well, they're the sort of people I can ask this. Would you buy this? I mean, if you saw this and you wanted to get yourself a gift, would you buy this? And they said immediately, yes, we would. And we think you should do this. So with that encouragement, I did make them for other friends. And then, you know, I decided to give them to friends for a while and refine the design and the process until I kind of went into business with them. Okay. And because Ingrid King has been, you know, she had done a sponsored post for me. I actually made one for her when she lost her Ruby. And that was a friendship gift because I felt so horrible the way Ruby was so young, you know, and I know that.
So when you do a portrait, are you working from photographs mostly?
Yeah, sometimes I get to meet them, but usually I'm working from photographs because I do a lot from a distance too.
Right.
But so
what do you when you're doing that, is there something you said, like when you looked at Casey, you wanted to make sure you have his specific markings, that ginger cats have different kinds of looks and all that, and the eyes. Yes. I mean, that to me, the eyes are the hardest, I think, to capture, aren't they?
No, actually, that's usually where I start.
Really?
And, you know, it's because years of experience really help with that. Because you know, some people work their portraits from top to bottom. You know, they work the detail all the way just down the paper. And I don't. I work, you know, I do a basis of just like colors in place. And then I start working the detail in all over the portrait, because sometimes it's a face, sometimes it's a whole scene.
Really?
And so I work the portrait all the way through, but I start with their face. And if I feel after the first draft.
So this face is a lot different than Casey's, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got I think he's got like teardrop eyes.
He does. He has much more slanted eyes. And they're pointed at the corners, and come on, look at me. He goes, what? Nose is a different color. You know,
come on,
different, you know, but his light areas are a little darker. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, I think you're right. I think getting the eyes right is the most important part, because that's what we focus on. That's kind of like the eyes to the soul, you know. And so you really got to get those eyes right. The rest of it will come together.
Right. I always say then I work on the portrait until they look back at me.
Oh, what a great line.
And that moment when they're actually looking at me, and, you know, I leave the portrait up. I used to work in the room I'm in. Now I work in my studio upstairs. It's on my easel where I can see it every time I walk past and when I work up there. And I walk past the room and I stop and look at it. And it gives me different perspectives. Am I done yet? Is the color right? I see it in daylight. I see it in evening light.
Wow, this is a lot of work.
They actually have to look back at me. And that's when I feel confident. And
kind of like Mona Lisa with a purr, right? I've been to the Louvre and I did dance from one end to the other to see that, to make sure she was following me.
Yes.
So So you're doing that with the portraits of different animals and scenes.
Well,
Right?
you know, with pencil, they do follow you because pencil has a reflection. The graphite has a reflection.
Wow.
And the eyes in a pencil portrait will follow you because the reflection follows you. But
Oh my God.
in pastel, I just hope they're looking back at me. And if I'm over to the side of them, I really hope they're not really looking at me over there, because then probably I need some other sort of help. So
Well, I also wanted to make sure people knew, because you were an English major, you also know how to put a noun and verb together. And everybody, she's given away a special prize to one person, and it's a gift book package of 3 books. They're called Great Rescues Daybook. She's got a 36-page mini art sampler book called Feline Style Sampler. And she has a coloring book, a feline coloring book, the Creative Cat Coloring Book. Would you hold those up for us, Bernadette?
I'll give you a little information about all 3.
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is reversed for you or not.
That's okay. We don't care.
Okay. Everyone, this is Great Rescues Daybook. It started out as a calendar, and it has 16 portraits in it. Now it's just a daybook. And what that is, it's undated for year. It has lines for, I opened to the very one where the month isn't there. It has numbers next to the lines for each month. And I use it to keep track of my cats coming and going, anniversaries, birthdays over decades, you know.
Nice.
But with this, the inspiration for it was that most of the cat portraits I've done were rescued cats. And so I decided years ago I wanted to do this book called Great Rescues, because along with the portrait and their story. Because once I meet these people who've rescued this cat, then we're friends forever and we're rescuing cats together. They've adopted from me. I hear from them years later. And so it's all just a big, long relationship for me. This is hard to see, but these are all the portraits that are in the book.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah. Nice job, Bernadette.
So, but so each month has, there we go. There's a portrait with the rescue story and then a quote. I collect cat quotes. And then over here is all the dates. The holidays are here. Nice. And then, you know, and then in the back, there's reference information, and then some note paper in the back.
It sure beats designing junk mail.
So
it sure does.
The portrait that's in the book is the one that you did. It's not just a picture of the cat. It's actually your painting of it. Oh, cool.
Nice.
So and I chose the ones for this I won't ever publish someone's portrait, at least in the first decade, without their permission. I certainly wouldn't publish it in a book without their permission.
Right.
But these people gave me their permission, and that's what kind of chose the portraits.
Okay.
And then
so tell us about the art sampler book.
That was the one I picked up next.
Oh.
Back in 2013, when I was going to the CWA conference, and I had started illustrating Patricia Fry's books at that point.
Patricia Fry, everyone, is a fiction writer, and she's very successful. Go ahead.
So I decided that I wanted to do something to offer to other authors, and just generally. So I made this little giveaway book. It was, you know, it has 36 examples of artwork. It's kind of hard to see, but
nice.
I went from beginning to end of my career. So there's this sketch now. Here's a very detailed watercolor next to a very loose watercolor.
Nice.
You know, an oil pastel, a pastel. So you can flip through here, and I wanted it to give someone the greatest, you know, breadth of my styles, the media that I use, and, you know, anything else that they could, and just to enjoy looking at it. But I still saw it as a promotional thing until I came back from the conference, and a friend of mine, I said, "Oh, hey, look what I did for the conference," and I gave some of this away. And she said, "Can I buy some of those?"
See?
Heard of me. So then
that's a typical artist. I can say from experience. We don't think about the monetary thing first. We're like, "Oh, you like it? You really like it? Oh, really? You want to buy it?" That's the world of an artist, Kathy.
Yeah.
There you go. And finally, we got to wrap up things in a little bit.
I know.
What is your coloring book?
Here's the coloring book. I had wanted to take some of my more detailed paintings and make the big detailed coloring pages. I didn't have the time. I thought, I'll just do something simple and encourage people to be creative, which was one of the things the sales reps used to say to us in doing designing junk mail. Be creative. So I just like, what do I have that's already ready to go in black and white? But these brush pen drawings that I did.
Oh,
so
cool.
There's a dozen of them in here. They're just on the page. I have some instructions for the like the paper is heavy enough to take oil paint, acrylic paint. You can punch, crystals through it if you want to. You can do whatever you want. You can take the pages out because it's coil bound, make a card out of it, frame it, whatever you want to do. So I want people to experiment. Just take this thing. Nothing, a coloring page that takes you a week. No, 15 minutes, you can have a little master.
I like it. I'm interested. Yeah. Everybody after the show, please go to portraitsofanimals.net and go through there, and you're going to see her gift book packages and things like that. I also want you to check out the creativecat.net, which is her blog posting. She's been doing this for almost 10 years now, right? 2000.
Actually 12 years.
12 years. Okay. Yeah. So she knew before we knew what a blog was. She was on board. I want to test your knowledge, everybody, how well you've been paying attention to Bernadette. Bernadette, don't say anything. I have two different questions to pose, and I'm leaning toward one I really wanted to do is finish this quote. I work on the portrait until what? What do you think of that one, Kathy?
That sounds good to me.
All right, guys, whoever responds, Kathy will pick a winner. Finish the quote from Bernadette Kasmarsky. She says, with all her different medias, she looks at the portrait, she works on the portrait until blank. Finish that statement. And it doesn't have to be word for word, right, Bernadette?
Right.
Right. But I like that you look at it in the morning light, the evening light, and all different kinds, because you're getting a total immersion of what it should be, right?
Right.
I mean, you're brilliant. Move over, Van Gogh. I mean, really. And I think it's kind of funny that you said you're from Carnegie, Pennsylvania.
Carnegie.
Oh, Carnegie.
Yes, everybody pronounces it Carnegie. I don't. The Carnegie family pronounces it Carnegie. And
Carnegie.
I used to work in community development here too, and I had this big campaign to take back our name. So that's why. But it really is pronounced Carnegie.
Okay, thank you, thank you. That's why I'm on radio and TV, because I mispronounce. What do you think cats have taught you? What are a couple of life lessons cats have taught you to keep you doing what you're doing in the world of art and words?
Well, there's nothing logical about my inspiration from cats. I mean, really, like I can put reasons to other things, but I'm simply very inspired by cats, by their shape, by their movement. I always have been, even when I was a child. Okay. And even before I started drawing, I see in everything they do. So it's like really hard with 10 cats around here all day long not to be. And at one point, I actually did daily sketches. For 3 years, I did daily sketches of my cats. It was partly I had to take care of two of my family, my mother and my brother, lots of medical needs. I had little time for art for several years, and I felt I had lost some of my skills. So I did this partly because I kept visualizing these sketches of my cats all the time, especially once Mimi and her kittens grown up and stayed with me. The 5 of them all black.
We know a lot of viewers that have, kids in their 20s that are still living with them.
Yes. And maybe I'll tell you what it's like to live with the kids when they're grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I decided to put that together, and I literally did. I thought I'd do a pencil sketch every day, and I had rules: 15 minutes, no masterpieces, no excuses. Do the sketch, scan it, post it on the Creative Cat, and share it. Just do it and move on. Because it's really easy to dicker with yourself. Maybe I'll change that. No. I had to challenge myself to do that. And I thought I'd be doing pencil sketches every day. Well, no, shortly I was moving into other media. And actually through doing that, I moved into media I hadn't mastered yet, like ink with watercolor washes and things.
Mhm.
And so I used that inspiration from living with these cats every day to improve these skills, find new skills, find new markets. And then when I went back out to do my nature paintings, I carried that with me, because it's one thing when you work from a photo, it's quite another when you work from a live anything, a tree, a cat, whatever. You're making different decisions. It's not waiting for you. The light changes.
That's right.
And
Wow.
so you really have to be sure of what you're doing and how you're doing it. That's
Yeah.
a big lesson. That's a
No,
really big lesson there.
It
Be
is.
confident. And so, being an artist, it generally has taught me that. But doing this with my cats, and now even just photographing them, just take the picture. Don't think about it. Just do
I
it.
like that.
Take a bunch of them. You'll
All
find
right.
a good one. So those are some really important things. But way back when, one of the things my first cat taught me, she didn't like to be picked up. But if I sat down and read a book, worked on my homework, whatever, she would come over on my lap and have a bath and have a sleep. I didn't have to drag her to me. She would come to me when she wanted to. And, we can be clingy like that with people in our lives and other situations, not just with our cats. So I carried that through to my cats, especially when I started rescuing years later. I was 9 when my parents got me a kitten for Christmas in a box under the tree. But, you can wait. You can let people come to you. You don't have to force yourself on it. So they're
Good. All right. Well, we got a few more things we got to do before the show, and it's live. So everyone, I want you to please stick around, Bernadette, and everybody, please go to thecreativecat.net. Please go to portraitsofanimals.net. We're going to shift gears for a minute, and Kathy is going to talk about the Korat breed. I'm going to turn my screen off for a minute because I'm getting ready to make the kitty cocktail. So take it away, Kathy. Bernadette, check out this beauty.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, so let's talk about the Korat. The Korat is a very interesting history. It was in the Korat province of Thailand, and the earliest record of this cat appears in a book of poems. They're estimating sometime around 1350, and the book talked about the 17 good luck cats of Thailand, one of which included the Korat. And the Korat is a very unique color. Bernadette was talking about capturing the coat color. This is a silver-tipped blue breed of cat, so it gives it kind of a shimmering shine. They say that the coat can kind of absorb the light, which gives it a halo effect. But it's a short, close-lying coat. The Korat has a very unique head structure based off of the heart. So you can really see the heart shape on this cat's head. There's 5 hearts associated with this breed. Looking straight at it, you see the Valentine heart of the head. If you look down over the top of the head, it also has a heart shape to it. The 3rd heart is associated with the head and the nose. So you have another heart right in here. And then the 4th is in this chest area. It also has a heart shape. And then, of course, inside the cat is the 5th heart. Okay, so these cats come in just one color. Their eyes are luminous green.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, shut up, Siri. What really is unique about this breed is when you feel the body, they say the rib cage should feel like a coiled spring. So like you took a spring and compressed it. That's how the rib cage feels on this breed. So it's a very unique feel to the body. They have these beautiful heart-shaped heads. They are a little bit of talkative cat, so they can have a little bit of a voice on them. Here's 3 little kittens. As with any of our gray cats or our solid color cats, they can have a little bit of striping on the tail as they're immature, but they'll lose that as they get more mature. Their eyes will get greener as they mature with age. I had never heard about the heart shape to the chest until I read that on the breed profile on the CFA website today. So I thought that was interesting. I've always talked about the heart shape to the head, but I thought that was interesting how they talk about this. Look at this one right here. Look at that beautiful heart right there on its chest. So that was something that I learned in making this slide for today. Here's a couple more pictures of the, look how luminous green these eyes are on both of these cats. And that is it. Yes, we got a cat in here, don't we, dog? So that is our Korat breed. It's a very rare breed. You're not going to see very many of them. There's very few breeders working with that breed here in the United States, but it's one of our breeds of cats that we accept, and I'm happy to bring you more information about it so you can learn something today.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, what did you think of that, Bernadette?
Oh, beautiful. Pencil.
Get something out.
And that heart was so obvious to me. That's funny. Yeah, on the chest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I really love about the Cat Fancier Association, Bernadette, is that they recognize and champion all cats. Their household cat division is really growing in popularity. So we have a way to become a member of CFA if you purr and you're not a pedigree. Tell us all about it, Kathy.
Yeah.
Well, it's called the Companion Cat World, and it's our way to register the non-pedigree breeds, non-pedigree cats. So it's a one-time fee of $13. When you upload your cat's picture, you get a card with your cat's face on it, or a picture of your cat's name information, your name and information. These also come in luggage tags, rings for your keychain. This is a very hard plastic card, so it's going to last a long time. And a portion of your donation of $13 goes to a local shelter. So check it all out at cfa.org/CCW.
What do you think, Jelly Bean?
Yeah, Jelly Bean needs to be
a good gift.
You need to be a card-carrying member of CFA, Jelly Bean.
There you go, Jelly Bean. We want you because Casey and Rusty are card-carrying members. Hey, we also go flip to the safe side. Bernadette, I don't know if you know, I teach a cat and dog pet first aid.
Yes.
And so we have a couple of classes left for the rest of the year. One is a cat only class, 3 hours with Casey and Rusty helping me in our veterinary approved class. It's going to be December 14th. It's a Tuesday night from 5 to 8 Central Time. So I hope some of you can join us. Bernadette, what I do for any guest that's on my show, you can come to that class pro bono.
Wonderful. You know, I was certified locally in 2013. And I'm grateful to have it. But you know what? I realized looking at it, like, there are a lot of things I've forgotten. And
I can send you information as I work with everybody else. It is live. It is Zoom. It doesn't matter where you live. I promise you will learn and laugh because I'm such a serious individual.
I know.
But Casey is an amazing pet safety cat, and Rusty is learning. So I really want you guys to come out. So I will send you that information.
Definitely, yeah.
Please go to Pet First Aid for You. And if you're like in my family, you have dogs too. We have a dog cat class that's going to be November 13th. It's coming right up from 10 to 2:30 Central Time. So please go to Pet First Aid for You for all the details. Bernadette, later I'll send you the little link and all that, okay? Mm-hmm. But it would be nice to have you in class.
Yes, thanks.
We have a rare appearance of one of my cats. This is not a Korat. This is a true, but we have Tootsie making a rare appearance.
Who is this? Who is this?
This is Tootsie.
Hi, Footsie. Oh, I hear jealous. Destiny's
jealous. Yes, but she's not on my lap.
That's hilarious. And isn't Footsie probably about 3 times the size of Destiny?
Yes. Well, she weighs, I just weighed her. She weighs 11.5 pounds. She's pretty fat.
And how much does the canine
Destiny weighs 5.5. So, stop, Footsie. Stop. She wants to get down. She's like, what am I doing on your lap?
Destiny goes, hey, you want to try another cat? How about this?
She'd love to play with Rusty. You know, she's met him. So, or Casey.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we got a few minutes left. So I want to, at this time, we got to celebrate all cats. As a licensed bartender, one of the most fun things I get to do to tap my creativity, because I cannot draw with a pencil or do pastels like Bernadette, is to be a mixologist. So tonight's recipe is called the Silver Tabby Tequila Triumph, because this drink is oh so delicioso. So to make this drink, it's pretty easy. You just take a cocktail shaker, put some ice in it, and you need to do a 1.5 ounces of silver tequila, which is very smooth. So that's a 6 count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you want to go upscale with this orange liqueur, a Grand Marnier, and that's 1 ounce, which is a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to put a 1/2 ounce of lime juice in. So look how I measure. Squirt, squirt. There's a 1/2 ounce. You want to do a 1/2 ounce of agave syrup. So for one of these, it's half of this. Now this is important. Orange bitters, a little drop goes a long way. You only need 3 drops of orange bitters. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, don't let the cat bump you when you're doing that.
No. And then you want to shake it, shake it, shake it, get it all good. Take a glass, and with a plate that you've already created with nice salt, rim the glass with a lime, twirl the rim of the glass. So now you have the salt on it, and enjoy. Pour it in, and be sure to add a couple of limes. And at this time, whether it's the Silver Tabby Tequila Triumph or a glass of water or whatever you have in between, let us all raise a glass and toast to all cats. I know personally that they have made me a better human. What do you think, Bernadette?
Absolutely.
And
I don't know what I'd be doing now if it weren't for them.
all right, so they make us better people. Cheers,
Yes.
kitties.
Cheers.
Ooh, this is smooth.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. This is so funny, Bernadette. This is my creativity.
Yes.
Is mixing drinks. I have more fun mixing than I don't get drunk. You know, this will last me all night.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm so excited that we've had our special guest today, Bernadette Kasmarsky. She's a talented artist and author. Please go to thecreativecat.net and portraitsofanimals.net. She's given away to a lucky person who knew how to finish that quote she said.
We've had a lot of people already get it right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, people are already into it. All right, cool.
These
And-
3 books, you get all 3 of them.
And we're very grateful to our sponsors, In Clover, the maker of cat and dog supplements, In Clover, and Meowy Wana. So guys, we're very grateful to them, the Cat Fancier Association. I am indebted to my cool co-host, Kathy Black, and Doggy Destiny, who doesn't like a cat in her lap.
No.
And a shout out to my dog, little Emma Gemma. Just got her ribbon completed doggy manners too. Susan and Steve Wittich was like, please have her on the show. She's eating right now in the main house, so she can't make it, but she wanted to thank you for acknowledging her graduation today. So thank you.
Yay. Good for
Congratulations.
Emma.
Next week, we are going to do something cool. We are going to salute the hardworking people that do trap, neuter, and return. And there's a big 4-day event in the Heartland, Michigan. And the Humane Society of Huron Valley is staging it, and they're having Sterling Trap King Davis be the face of this big, big fundraising event. So next week, we're going to have 2 people from that Humane Society, Gary Evans and Laura Crouch, and we're really looking forward to seeing them. Just a note to all of you guys, we will not have Meowy Hour on November 24th because it's the day before Thanksgiving. And we have a lot to be thankful for. So we will have our show next week, but I wanted to let you know we have something to tribute to Trap, Neuter, and Return. So guys, I think I thanked everybody, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Mhm.
That's why we have Kathy here. So guys, until next time, it is same cat time, same cat channel. We will see you on Meowy Hour. Thank you very, very much for showing up, guys. Give us your
Thanks,
ideas.
Bernadette.
anytime.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you,
Nice
Bernadette.
to meet you guys. Thanks for inviting me.
All
Okay.
right, cheers.